Good morning, Southwest Florida. You're listening to Saving the Investor Radio Show. I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida Certified Financial Planner Professional, here with John Antonucci, and there is so much going on. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on about the markets and really how to protect and how to grow your portfolio and your retirement plan. But we'll get it started. Welcome to the show, John.
Great to be here on a beautiful Saturday morning in Southwest Florida, and great to talk about what's taking place in the markets. But Alfie has put together a information toolkit that's absolutely free. A lot of you may have some economic uncertainties by all that's happening in the world and even in our economy. And if you made a decision to put your financial decisions on hold, you really need to grab a hold of this free toolkit. It's really going to help transform your worries of retirement into confidence. You know, inside Alfie's free toolkit, it's going to give you a wide range of materials such as, will your money last as long as you do? Are you paying too much taxes in retirement? If you could reduce your tax liability, that's going to go a long way into extending your retirement plan. The Social Security Decisions Guide. Will this recession that we're supposed to be in rob your retirement? You want to get a hold of it. All you have to do is text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Again, you can either text the word KIT or call that number, talk to the operator, tell them I want Alfie's free toolkit, 239-747-1077. It's really time for a worry-free retirement. And Alfie, everybody's hoping the rates are going to get cut, but we're heading into May here, and inflation is still pretty up there from what I'm seeing in the grocery stores and at the gas station pump. And really the markets are pretty much up and down a little bit like they always are, aren't they?
Yeah, inflation is really being stubborn right now. It is definitely not going down like they thought it was going to go down. It was going down very nice there, and then they thought we were going to have like 6 rate cuts. Remember, at the beginning of the year they were anticipating 6, and then they got down to 3, and now it looks like 1 or 2, if any, this year.
And I heard it might go the other way. We might raise it.
Yeah, I doubt if they'll raise it in an election year. I just don't see that. But they're fine with rates hanging at 5.25 and 5.5. If you look at the mortgage rates, they're up. Houses, we have clients that are selling their houses, John, and they put them on the market and they're just sitting there. They're sitting. So if you sold a house, remember this time, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, they were having bidding wars on.
Yeah, 5,900 properties between actually Fort Myers and Estero. I look at them just about every day. 5,900 on the market, which is not all Lee County, Fort Myers and Estero.
Man, 5,900. Yeah, that's a lot of homes. A lot of. So if you're a cash buyer and you're looking for a home, I think this is the time to make a deal on a home. So.
Oh
yeah. So things are definitely coming down in a sense. So if you look at that, and we're a hot market too. This is the thing. We're a hot market. So if it's hurting here, just think what it's doing around the country. So you're looking at home sales. That has a lot to drive inflation. Car sales, they're still holding up pretty good. But you have to, like you said, the grocery stores are and restaurants are your biggest hits.
Off the chain.
Yeah. Now we just got back from Argentina, and it's 1,000 to 1, so 1,000 pesos to $1.
So how was it? A lot cheaper to eat out there?
Yeah, it was good. Like like a gelato. I got a double gelato for 3,300 pesos, which was $3.30.
Oh,
so things were definitely. We stayed at a beautiful hotel there overlooking one of the 7 lakes, beautiful mountains. If you've never been to Argentina, this was Patagonia. It is the south tip of Argentina. It's a beautiful, beautiful country, beautiful place. So people were fantastic. But their inflation, I believe, and my buddy told me that it's 12% a month.
Wow.
A month. That's 144 for the year. But it was a lot higher before the new president that took over. Now, the new president took over. They're touting that he's like Trump, in Argentina, and this guy's either you love him or you hate him. It seems like the same thing. But he cut out of 21 agencies, he cut 11 of them right off the bat. Government jobs. So that's probably why you either love them or hate them, but inflation is coming down fast, and people people look like they're working and enjoying life. So that's what we're gonna have to do here. We're gonna have to do something. So this is election year, and we're definitely going to have to get out there and vote if you want change. You want change. So let's look at some of the things. Like you said, John, some of the inflation numbers came in hotter than expected. So, I just don't see that we're going to have any rate cuts anytime soon. The next one was supposed to be in June. That one's off the table, and then you have one in September. So we'll see there. But that's what drove the markets really this week was that, and of course Israel. So let's talk a little bit about Israel. You had Iran sent 300 drones and missiles over to Israel. They pretty much intercepted all of them with help of U.S. But that system that they had, said the Iron Curtain, worked fantastic.
Oh, so amazing with them picking that off like a pea shooter.
Yeah. So it's that is important, and the question is Israel going to retaliate? Most likely they are, but they're not going to let us know. I think the leaders that Israel has versus our leaders, I think if they say something, they're going to do it. Where if we say something, we're going to just move the line a little bit further back. It's just there's no respect right now.
Yeah, and what's your thoughts on the speaker putting together a package now for Israel and also Ukraine? They're spending more money overseas. We need money in this country, and it seems like, how does that affect the markets?
Well, it affects inflation. That's why the spending that's going on, John, the inflation numbers are going up, and you just cannot keep printing money and think that inflation is going to curve. It's you got to have somebody in there that's going to cut things, and that's going to bring more money into the system, and more taxes will be coming in, and people are going to be spending, but there's going to be more jobs created. And get the oil. If you get oil prices down, you're going to be just fine. It's just that's a big component of inflation is oil, and that is ticking up again. So gold. I wanted to really touch on gold. Give what we're going to offer first. I'm going to talk about gold after that.
Yeah. Well, Alfie, information really is king, and you really have to have prudent information to make good quality decisions in your retirement. And Alfie has put together a brand new book that's always in high demand, and he just got some new copies brought in. A complimentary copy of his book awaits you, Making Waves in Retirement. To claim your free book, all you have to do is text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. You don't want to miss out on the valuable insights, including many, many stories about investors that he has helped save over the years. That's why he named this broadcast Saving the Investor, because he wants to save you from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street, so that you can thrive in your retirement years. Text the word book right now to 239-747-1077. If you don't text, just call that number. Tell the operator you want Alfie's free offer of his brand new book, Making Waves in Retirement. 239-747-1077. Yeah, they're talking about gold going to $3,000 an ounce. What do you think about that?
So gold is we always talked about it. It is having a nice little run right now. But if you look at the history of gold, it costs money to store the gold. Number one, it's tax different. Number two, and the volatility that it has, you have really a long-term T-bill type of returns. Okay, and then with the risk that you're taking to put your life savings or a lot of money in gold. And I'm not saying not to have any gold, but don't get crazy, listeners. Please don't get crazy and think that you need to put it all in gold to protect it. Yes, gold is going up right now, but it's not a long-term investment. It's a long-term investment if you have a little bit of it. Yes, it's just fine to have, but don't go crazy in it because it does not keep up with inflation. And if you look at the history of gold, again, you're taking volatility. You're really risking volatility in your portfolio but you're not getting the returns. You're getting returns of T-bills. So this is something you need to think about if you want to have come in, and we'll show you some comparisons. I think it will open up your eyes. So we'll be right back, talk more about the market and more about really some strategies.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. You know, Alfie has over 40 years of experience in this industry as a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you. And he has put together a retirement simulator process that will help get you to and through retirement. You know, inside that process, he's going to take a deep dive into your current portfolio to see what's really going on. He's going to make sure that you're allocated properly, that you're diversified correctly, that you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting. He's also going to expose all the hidden fees inside your portfolio that could be eating up your returns each and every year. And he's going to take you back 5 years and show you side by side his portfolio versus what you currently have. That's why you owe it to yourself to come in, sit down with Alfie Townsend, 2 beautiful offices, Fort Myers and Naples. All you have to do is text the word VISIT, VISIT, to 239-747-1077. Again, you can meet with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. Text the word VISIT, VISIT, to 239-747-1077, or just call the operator and tell them you want to take advantage of Alfie's retirement simulator process. And Alfie, as we get through almost the middle of the year, people really need to know what's going on inside their portfolio because they may be sort of top heavy in one area and really not have the right mix.
Yeah, they might not, John. And this is, look, election year, what it's going to obviously give you some volatility. Now, if you look at the last, since 1928 to current, there's been, with incumbent presidents, there's been 23 elections. And out of the 23, 19 of them have been positive returns of the S&P 500. Now, this is going back to 1928. And then the 4 that were negative, so 19 positive, 4 negative, the 4 negative, 1930, 1943. A lot of things happened in those 2 years. Then how about 2000? That was a recession also. And then we had another recession in 2008 that was called the Great Recession. And those were negative years. Those 4 were negative years. But everything else was a positive year. The average return was just over 10% for the S&P 500. People say, well, you know what? This is not your typical presidential election. You're right. You have a president that is using his powers, his DOJ to put Trump in court and keep him in court as long as he can to keep him off the campaign trail. Now, this is going to create, but what it's doing, John, and you know it better than me, it is creating really people to look at what's happening and saying, you know what, if it could happen to President Trump, a former president, it could happen to us too.
Sure.
They could take these same things and really put it against the American people. And I think that's what's happening. They are seeing that it's not fair what they're doing and how they're treating him, like him or not, but is raising his poll numbers.
Yeah, well, obviously he's in a place right now where he's got to be in court 4 days a week, and his son is going to graduate high school. And if he goes to that graduation, the judge said he's going to throw him in jail. You throw him in jail for that. I mean, he's going to be elected hands down easily. I think he is already. But these kind of things that are happening in this country really is polarizing and something that we've never really even seen before.
No, and I like Laura Trump, his daughter-in-law, being co-chair of the Republican party, that I think she's going to do things that Ronna McDaniel did not do. And we always talked about it. They know how to play the game. The Democrats know how to play the game to get to get the votes. And if it's ballot harvesting, if it's legal, why not do it?
Yeah, start now.
Start now. And I think they're starting it. They're going to have. They're changing it up a lot. So I feel, a lot of people say, I don't know if I feel confident, but I think people are starting to feel a little bit more confident because someone else is running the election versus, the old system. So I'm hoping, that part's going to be taken care of. You're going to have the Hispanics, you're bringing all these people over. You're bringing all these people over the border to get votes, obviously. But what it's doing to our country is just as bad as it can be.
Yeah.
When I saw And I told you, I saw President Trump 3 weeks ago at Mar-a-Lago. I was invited to a dinner over there, and he came in and spoke to 27 of us, and we were raising money for the military, for the the Navy SEALs and Special Forces that were already retired. And President Trump came in and spoke, and he was telling us, he goes, our country is going to hell.
Yeah.
That's what, and I have the video. He says, our country is going to hell. But he says, when I'm elected, it's going to be the biggest deportation that you've ever seen. And that's what needs to be done. And these Hispanics that are coming, Hispanics, it's not just Hispanics.
Yeah,
everybody's
Africa,
coming over,
China,
but they think they're getting votes from the people that are coming over. But what it's doing, it is taking these people that's been here for many, many years, Hispanics, and it's moving them over to President Trump because they can't get jobs now. It takes jobs away from them. It takes jobs away from the blacks. So they are coming over to Trump's side, and that was never intended to happen.
Right.
And they were never anticipating that to happen, but it's happening. So you could see a landslide. If a fair election, you could see a landslide, John.
Yeah, that's true. So, and speaking of jobs, you're talking about jobs. I mean, the job report is pretty good, isn't it? As far as in our country, unemployment is relatively low, so that affects the market in a positive way, doesn't it?
It does. Again, a lot of these job numbers, what I was told, are foreigners that are getting these jobs. Foreigners that are getting these jobs. So these are not. These are job numbers that are not that you would think, oh, this is great. Americans are working and everyone's working. No, they're part-timers, and a lot of them are foreigners that are working these jobs, which is I'm talking about in the hundreds of thousands of them when you're looking at these job numbers. So they're not what you think they are.
Yeah, and when you look at even California, when you look at companies that you probably invest in, like your McDonald's and your fast food type industry, that just raised the minimum wage to a guaranteed $20 an hour,
Yeah.
which affects small business, which is really the driving force of our country. How is that overall? If that were to go nationwide, would that affect the markets?
Well, you see these companies that are closing. They're closing. These companies that are these restaurants that have been there a long time in California, they're just they can't do it. They're just closing up, and that's what you're going to see. And it only affects the franchisees. They didn't put it. He owns Newsom owns restaurants. He owns a restaurant, quite a few of them, but they're not a franchise restaurant, so they're not affected by the 20% per hour.
Yeah.
It was just if you're a franchise like a McDonald's or Burger King, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, and stuff like that, they're the ones that are affected, minimum $20 an hour. So what's going to happen is it has to go to the consumer. We're going to pay it. There's only so much. Yeah, there's only so much. Per hamburger or per chicken that you can charge.
Yeah. Well, it's important to have good information, and Alfie has really put together a free toolkit that will help transform your worries of retirement into confidence. So if you're listening to us each and every week and you have economic uncertainties and it's putting your financial decisions on hold, maybe you're on the sidelines, maybe you have your money in a 3 or 4% return, which really isn't going to benefit you in retirement, you really need to get a hold of Alfie's free toolkit, because it's going to give you a wide range of materials such as, will your money last as long as you do? You have to outlive your money. If your money doesn't outlive you, then you got a problem. You might have to go back to work. He's going to talk about that in that toolkit. Are you paying too much in taxes in retirement? The Social Security's Decisions Guide. Will a recession rob your retirement? How about inflation? He's going to talk about that. Is that going to affect your retirement? You have to be able to keep up with inflation. Get a hold of Alfie's free toolkit today. All you have to do is text or call the operator. Text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. When you text that word KIT It's going to take you to a landing page, and you'll be able to check out and download all of that great information that's going to get you to and through retirement. It's time for a worry-free retirement. Get a hold of Alfie's Toolkit today. Text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, you're giving out this great information, this wealth of knowledge of over 40 years of experience. People really need to take advantage of this because it's free. And as I say, if it's free, it's for me. And it's really a benefit to them, especially in their retirement years, isn't it?
Some things, John, you always say free for me, and I love it. But some things that are free, it's free for a reason. That it's not worth to buy anything. But what we're giving for free is we're going to look at what you currently have. You're going to have 41 years of experience. You're going to have a team here that's amazing. That when you walk in, you're going to, of course, be greeted by a great team that we have, and it's going to be a relaxing situation. But we're going to look at what you currently have, and we're going to compare it to see, and we're going to show you what's going on inside your portfolio that you don't even know about your fees, about your allocation, about the reason why it might not be performing the way you think it should be performing. And this is something that you need to know because we are going to go through some times. You have a lot of volatility out there, and you want to be on the other side of this break. We're going to talk about some protection buffer ETFs. We're going to talk about what you can do in a volatile market, how you can get extra income. These are things that your advisor most likely is not talking about, but we're going to talk about this. Stay tuned on the other side of this break because you're not going to want to miss what we're going to discuss. We'll be right back. Good morning, Southwest Florida. You're listening to Saving the Investor Radio Show. I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional, here with John Antonucci. And do we have a show for you this Saturday morning? So stay tuned, and I'll have John give you all the number, and then we're going to talk about some things that will help you get to and through retirement.
Yeah, welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner Alfie Townsend. He has over 40 years experience in this industry. As a certified financial planner professional, he's a fiduciary, which means his responsibility and services are directly to you. And Alfie's book was in high demand last week. He's got a brand new book on the market, his second book, Making Waves in Retirement. From waypoint to waypoint, you really want to be able to sail through the storm, to navigate the fog of investing, and Alfie's going to help you do that. A complimentary copy of his book awaits you. To claim your free book, all you have to do is text or call the operator. Text the word book to 239-747-1077. If you don't text, just call that number and tell the operator I want to take advantage of Alfie's free book that he's offering today on this broadcast. Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. You don't want to miss out on the valuable insights, including many stories about investors that he has helped save. That's why he named this broadcast Saving the Investor, because he wants to save you from the pitfalls, the traps, the schemes of Wall Street. Just text or call. Text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, what are some ways to help protect someone's portfolio during a pullback in the market?
Yeah, so what happens, when markets start to act up, when I say act up, you got volatility, it's coming back, markets are going down. People say, should we go to cash? And that's one of the hardest things to do because you go to cash, you're trying to time the market at that point. So and then the market starts to go back up, and then you try to get back in it. So that's called timing the market. When's a good time to get in? When's a good time to get out? Well, think about if you had to do that over and over and over. That's it's hard to do. You have to catch it, before it starts to go down. Then you don't do that. You catch it a little bit late. Then you're waiting for it to go up, and it starts to go up, and then you get back in it. So you miss the up. So it's a tough situation to put yourself in. So there's things out there that's called a buffer ETFs. Okay, now this could be for part of your money. Some people put it for all their money, but a buffer ETFs, what they do is that they put these buffers that are options inside a portfolio that limit the downside. So for example, you can have some that you're responsible for the first 5%, let's say, and then they're responsible for the next 10% or 15 or 20. You could be responsible for the first 20, and then they're responsible. The company would be responsible for the first 20, the portfolio, itself, and then after 20% down, then you're responsible for that. So these are downside protectors, and these are called buffer ETFs. There's different ones out there. We feel like the ones that we use are the best ones out there because as independent, we can use any manager. What's nice about working with us, we're not tied to any one manager. We're not tied to, as a registered investment advisor, we can choose whoever we want to choose for. We don't work for a bank. We don't work for a broker firm or anything. We're independent, so we can find the best of the best. So that's something that will help protect your downside. So if you're concerned about the markets, and you're concerned that you don't want to take a big 20% hit, 15% hit, this is an option for you. Now, what they do, how they can do that is they do it with options, but then what happens on the up, if the market goes up 20%, you might be limited to 15 to 18% of that 20. If you're good about that, then this is something for you for maybe part of your money. So you can do that. We talk about the structured notes. Now, a lot of our clients are taking the income from a structured note. Typically, they're paying between 8 and 10% a structured note. That means you're going to get that. I have two of them.
Okay.
I have two structured notes myself. They're pretty large ones, and I get an income from that money. And what I do with that income, I do it for different reasons. I do it, more for charity, where I give that money away for charity. But, people are using structured notes for income. That income gets, if you're getting a 8 or 9% return, and that's a guaranteed return. I'll explain how it works when you come in, but it's guaranteed for 21 months. Typically, they call these notes after 12 months. So after 12 months, they're going to say, hey, we're going to give you your money back. And if you want to do another note, you can. But so they do call them after 12 months typically, and that's what we put in there. They're not allowed to call them until 12 months. So that is something, if you're looking for income, it's like 2 times what a CD's paying, sometimes a lot more than that even. So you got that going on, and how it's protected as long as the S&P or NASDAQ from the date that you get in does not go below 30%. So that's called a buffer. So if it goes down 30%, you're fine. You're going to get your interest payment, all your money back. If it goes down, 20%, no big deal. If it goes over 30, what happens is you would miss your interest payment until it gets back in the range. Okay. And if it goes, below 30 on the 21st month, if they don't call a note, if they call the note, they give you all your money back, your last interest payment. So if it goes to 21 months, if it's more than 30, yes, you do lose principal at that point. Some principal, not all of it, but some of the principal. But this is something that a lot of our clients are doing, and they're renewing them almost at 100%. So they're liking that income. So if you're looking for income, this is a great option. And I'm going to let John give you our number and everything. But if you're looking for income planning, you're not getting the plan that you think you need, give us a call and let us just look at your overall plan. Let us look at your income, your taxes, and then the strategies that you're currently in.
Yeah, if you haven't had a review in about a year, it would be a great time to get a review or a second opinion. If you've been with an advisor a long time and you don't like the direction that you're going in, you want to get a second pair of eyes. Why don't you let somebody who has 41 years of experience in this industry as a certified financial planner professional put together an income plan and a strategy for you that will get you not only to retirement, but also through retirement. All you have to do is text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Alfie has 2 offices, one in Fort Myers, one in Naples, whichever is closer to you. And he's put together a retirement simulator process that will take a deep dive into your current portfolio to see what's really going on. It's going to expose all the hidden fees that are inside your portfolio that could be, you never know, could be eating up all your returns. It's going to make sure that you're allocated properly, diversified correctly, that you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting. Do you know what your risk factors is? He has a program that will put you through step-by-step process that will really identify your risk tolerance. And we're not talking about 0 to 10. We're talking about a really complex plan that he's put together that will help get you to and through retirement. Text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077 or call the operator and meet with Alfie today. Alfie, interest rates are always changing. We always like them very low, but sometimes they're going to go up and they're going to be higher. How can investors benefit? I mean, do you have strategies and plans that can help investors benefit when there are higher interest rates out in the market?
Yeah, so interest rates, if they're real low, it's good for mortgages. If you're taking a mortgage, that's when you want low rates. And the markets tend to do better with lower interest rates because if they're a growing company, they're borrowing money, and there's more profit in there for the holders, stockholders. So it is good to have lower interest rates in an interest rate environment. But when interest rates start going up, if you're into the savings accounts pay more interest. These structured notes pay more interest. Volatility can create higher interest, believe it or not. So these are all things that we want to look at. One thing that we're doing, and a lot of these things I showed people, John, they're gonna, they say, why hasn't my advisor talked to me about this tax strategy? Why hasn't my advisor talked about direct indexing where you can get an extra 3% on your investment? And I say, one reason is they're not like going on these journeys to really learn about what's new out there, for their clients. A lot of them aren't taking the time to go travel and to go to hang with the people that are much more smarter than yourself.
Yeah,
and that's what you want.
Status quo, right?
Yeah, and like I said, if you're not growing, you're dying. So we're out there, at least 8 to 12 times a year traveling to learn and stay ahead in our profession. And that's why we bring back stuff that people, that they just aren't used to seeing. And so I always say, well, you might have outgrown your advisor, and we've talked about that many times. If you think you outgrown your advisor, if they're not sharing things that are giving you additional returns, for the strategies that they're putting you in, looking into taxes, or are you doing Roth conversions? Are they even talking about a Roth conversion? Are they showing you things to take advantage of the market? If it's going up or if it's going down, structured notes, income. So if they're not doing that, this is something that you need to give us a call. And our phone number is very easy. It's 239-747-1077. I'm going to have John give you a number that you can text to get some information to see if we're a good fit, to see if we can put you in a better position. So, John, give that text number.
Yeah, you can text Alfie. Alfie's put together a toolkit that will help transform your worries of retirement into confidence. It's going to give you about 4 or 5 different white papers that you can get a hold of right now. Don't hesitate. Pick up your smart device right now and text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Again, text the word KIT. If you don't text, you may not do that. Just pick up the phone, call the operator, 239-747-1077. You want to take advantage of Alfie's Toolkit. It's a worry-free retirement kit that will give you a wide range of materials, such as will your money last as long as you do? Are you paying too much in taxes in retirement? The Social Security Decisions Guide, if you haven't made that decision, when do you take it? 62, 5, 7, 70, all those good things are in there. Pick up the phone and call now. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. Alfie has over 40 years of experience in this industry as a certified financial planner professional. He's a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you. And he's just put together a brand new book, Making Waves in Retirement. And his book is always in popular demand. And guess what? A complimentary copy of his book awaits you. Pick up the phone right now. Don't wait till the end of the broadcast. Claim your free book. Text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. You don't want to miss out on the valuable insights, including many stories about investors that he has helped save. Just text the word book to 239-747-1077. Again, that's 239-747-1077. 1077. And Alfie, what strategies can retirees that are listening to us today implement now to really help safeguard against potential future tax increases?
That's a good question because there's a lot of things that you can do. Rates are going to go up. We have a high debt. It's growing. I heard at $1 trillion every 100 days. So
It's crazy.
we cannot sustain that. But in the meantime, you know, regardless of the Democrat, Republican, Independent, you got to do something with taxes, and they're going to be raising taxes. So we're in a relatively low tax rate right now. So this is the time to look at some strategies. We have what we call Roth conversions, where we're going to look at your accounts and see if we can keep you in that under 20% bracket if we do some conversions. And by doing that, when that money grows tax free, and when you want to take money out down the road, we're talking about if the rates go to 35% and you're getting tax free money, that was a great thing that you did years ago to do a Roth conversion. So there's also life insurance out there that you can borrow on it. And people say, well, life insurance is something I don't really want. I understand you're not buying this for a death benefit. You're buying this for tax-free money down the road. So there's no limit what you can put in there. We have some high net worth clients that will show them how they can put in a lot of money into something like this. We had one not too long ago. What they did is they had inherited IRA, and it was quite high. So what we did is $200,000 a year taking out, because they're going to have to take this money out by 10 years. So they took the money out, and he put it into this insurance policy. And by doing that, we were able to get him a big death benefit for his heirs, tax-free, and he would never have to take, he's taking it out because you have to take it out by 10 years, an inherited IRA. So it's going to be out before 10 years. It's going to go to his heirs tax-free, 100% tax-free. In addition to that, if he needed it for long-term care, he would have a couple $100,000 a year he could use for long-term care that comes off the death benefit. So there's a lot of benefits out there. But I see all the time, John, that people don't talk about these strategies. These advisors are not talking about strategies. They're sort of, they got the blinders on just to look at what they're doing. If it's, if it's portfolios or if it's just annuities or whatever. And, speaking of annuities, this is the other thing you can do. If your annuity is over 5 years old, those rates were very, very low at the time that you got that. Okay, interest rates were very low. The rates are higher. So you asked a question about, higher interest rates, what you can do with higher interest rates. And the annuities are, sometimes we're able to give them 2 to 3 times the interest that they were currently getting on their old annuities with their new ones, because the rates are so much higher for the insurance companies. They're able to make money on it. So if you do have an old policy, just let us look at it to see if we can get you that 2 or 3 times earning potential on that than what you currently have, because take advantage of these high rates because they're not going to last. They're going to start going down.
That's a great point, because a lot of people that invested in an annuity might think that they have to stay in that annuity forever and ever, amen. But they could really, you're saying they can actually move their money out of that annuity into another product, right?
Yeah, a lot of times we're able to take what they currently have, and even if there's a penalty, there's companies that will pay those penalties, and you'll still earn 2 to 3 times what you were earning at that time. So, why would you want to leave it in there, 4 or 5 more years just so there's not a penalty that you can roll it without a penalty? Your penalty is leaving it in there. You need to look at it to see if we can do a side-by-side comparison to have your penalty paid, but then your earning potential is that much more.
Yeah,
double. You got to take advantage of this. Like I said, over 40 years of doing this business. Right now, the rates on these annuities, these fixed annuities that have safety in there, give you the earning power of 2 to 3 times more than what they were just a year and a half, 2 years ago. So if you have an older annuity, let us look at it to see if we're able to do something with it. Not all of them we can help, but there's, most of them we can do something with.
Yeah, you owe it to yourself to give Alfie a call. What do you have to lose? If you're listening to us right now and you have an old annuity that's over 5 years old or in that range, give Alfie a call right now at 239-747-1077. Let him take a look at your annuity and see if could you imagine getting 2 to 3 times more than what you're getting right now just by making a phone call? I mean, I would pick up the phone right now, not hesitate. 239-747-1077. Let a man with 40 years of experience as a certified financial planner professional take a look at your current annuity situation and see if he can do one better to get you more income each and every year. And you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And, Alfie, when we talk about interest rates, you were just talking about rising. Someone that's taking required minimum distributions out every year, if their tax bracket changes, which they're not thinking about, that could be a great cut into their retirement plan because maybe they're going to empty their account out a lot faster than they thought.
Yeah.
You have ways of protecting that and different strategies that can help shelter against that happening. What are some of the strategies that you have that someone could take advantage of? Because people are just going through life and just taking money out and not even thinking about what could change in the future.
Yeah, they're not looking at the future. They're not looking at taxes. They're not looking at what we do holistically, John. We look at the whole picture. And I was reading a book, and you love John Maxwell.
Yes.
He's just the really knowledge that he has, and the books that he's written. And I was reading his book this morning, and it was talking about taking little steps. People they're listening to this broadcast right now, and they're saying they're looking at things that I got to call, I got to do this, But he says the little steps lead to the big steps, and the little steps are just that. When I was listening to you talking about just call to see if we can put you in a better situation,
Right?
And that's a little step is picking up the phone, texting the number. I'm gonna have John give it one more time before the show ends, but just text and get some information and let us see if we can put you in a better situation. The little steps lead to the big steps that help you get to and through retirement.
Yeah, one little step could make a big difference in your financial picture. And Alfie can put together a strategy and a plan that can help really maximize your retirement earnings. You can earn money in retirement. He does it for people all the time. You don't have to sit pat with what you have. If you have an old annuity, let him take a look and see if he can get you 2 to 3 times more. He has many, many different products, as we've talked about over the show, the structured notes that can get you interest on your money each and every quarter. So all you have to do is text the word SAVE to 239-747-1077. Again, text the word SAVE, S-A-V-E, to 239-747-1077, or call the operator. Tell them I want to let Alfie take a look at what I have and see if he can make a plan and a strategy that's better than what I'm currently in. 239-747-1077.
Yeah, that's the thing, John. A lot of times people, they don't like change, and it's okay not to like change, but change is good, and you need to stay ahead of things. So you're really doing yourself service by giving us a call to see if we can put you in a better position. If we can't, we let you know, but at least you took that baby step to see if you're in a good position. I don't know if you ever watched our TV show. It's called Saving the Investor, same as our radio show, and it's on every Sunday at 11 o'clock, right after Meet the Press. So you go to watch Meet the Press if you want to get depressed, and then you watch our radio show to get you pumped up again. So it's Saving the Investor. It's on every Sunday at 11 o'clock on NBC2. And then, of course, right here on 92.5, we've been on this station well over 10 years now doing this radio show. And Jake is our producer. Jake the Millennial. He's a rock star at 92.5. So we hope you have a fantastic weekend and you enjoyed the show. Until next week, be blessed.